from Louisiana's home team. This is Fox 8 Morning Edition at 7 a.m.
7:30 is your morning time. I don't know if you've given this any thought, but whether you're hosting an office party or you're celebrating at a dinner with or for your coworkers, office festivities are a great way to show employee appreciation. But your best plans could get you in a lot of trouble. So employment attorney Tim Scott's going to join me now with tips how to avoid the party pitfalls. Tim, good morning to you.
Good morning,
It's a pleasure. I'm thinking that it's not a good idea to have 4 cocktails, run up to your boss, him or her, kiss him on the lips and say, Merry Christmas.
That is about the quickest way you're going to have to get in some trouble.
Okay, advice. What are the advices at the office parties and celebrations?
You know, we all want to have a good time.
Right.
Businesses want to reward their employees for hard work throughout the year, but you've got to give some thought as to what you're going to do here. You can't just throw a party, throw a bunch of booze on the table, and expect your employees to behave. And so what we advise our clients, businesses, is to think about liability, think about risk, exposure, try to have a good party that's fun for everybody, but at the same time try to do it in a way that's responsible and that you're thinking about some of the worst case scenarios.
Yeah, you'd mentioned before we came on the air, don't be the topic of conversation about did you hear what so-and-so did, right?
From an employee's perspective, nothing can kill a career more quickly than being the person who got way out of control during the office party.
Yeah, no dancing on tables, throwing your head into the big bowl of eggnog, what have you, and watch that. You bring something up here that, is it a good idea, we were talking about, have someone in the company to monitor the party? Explain that.
Yeah, we see a lot of claims that come out of the holiday season, and a lot of it involves the boss. And so when you're setting up the party, thinking about assigning somebody who's going to be responsible, who's going to behave, who can keep an eye on things. A lot of problems don't become problems, but you can kind of see them if you're sort of standing back, maybe not drinking at all. Yeah, and looking at them as they happen. If all of the management team is in there leading the conga line and doing those sorts of things,
have you ever led a conga line?
I have not, as far as you know.
When you do this, when you say that claims have been filed, what kind of claims? What, harassment, inappropriate behavior, improper advances, etc.?
All of the above. Typically, we see at least 1 or 2 harassment claims come into our office that has some element of an office party, some shenanigans. The other part that's big is the third-party liability. When people are getting on the road after the party, that's where the real exposure is. You know, if you're serving alcohol in this legal climate, there's going to be some responsibility.
Who assumes responsibility if it's a company-sponsored party or gathering, right?
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things you have to think about on the front end. Make sure that you've got a plan to deal with that, whether it's calling cabs or having hotel rooms, hiring a bartender to come in to make sure that people aren't overserved. If you've got a party where people are just doing shots, the manager is walking around with a bottle of tequila, that's going to be a problem. And if there's an accident on the road later on, all of that evidence is going to come out. It's going to look real bad.
So we don't want to see one of the managers or heads of the company running around in a propeller hat screaming Yahoo holding a bottle of champagne.
Absolutely. That's good advice right there.
So think about your career.
Yeah, from an employee's perspective, think about your career. You know, understand that the same rules apply at these parties as they do in the normal workday. And so you have, even though there's alcohol, you still have to behave.
Good advice. Thanks for coming in. Happy holiday to you, my friend.
Thanks for
joining us.